Hello, YouTube. There are ominous new developments in the war between Ukraine and Russia. On November 28, 2024, on the sidelines of the Collective Security Treaty Organization Summit in Astana, there was a lot of talk about the Oreshnik, hazel tree in English. Details of the characteristics of the new missile were revealed by Vladimir Putin himself. For the majority, the so-called innocent joke of Alexander Lukashenko remained unnoticed behind the multitude of statements at the summit, quite naturally. Lukashenko, according to him, said the following: "Joked to my older brother, Putin. Here I say, the locations are ready for deployment. When?" Smiling, the president of Belarus said in an interview with journalists. And then the head of the state spoke very highly about the new missile system. The joke was forgotten, but not for long. On Friday, December 6, after a meeting of the Supreme Council of the Union State, Alexander Lukashenko addressed the president of Russia, expressing concern about the situation on the borders with Poland and Lithuania. The Russian view about it is this: NATO forces are pulling together, and the situation looks more tense in Belarus than on the border with Ukraine. After that, Lukashenko repeated his request, but no more in a joking way. I would like to ask you, dear Vladimir Vladimirovich, that the new weapon systems, and above all the Oreshnik, be placed on the territory of Belarus. Putin calmly replied, "Since today we signed an agreement on security guarantees with the use of all available forces and means, I consider the deployment of such complexes as Oreshnik on the territory of the Republic of Belarus possible." According to the president, Russia will continue to replenish the arsenals of the latest weapons, and already in 2025, Oreshnik may be transferred to Belarus. Why place the Oreshnik in Belarus? This question occurred immediately to many in Russia. The point, of course, is to ensure the security of Russia's closest ally. But within the framework of the amended nuclear doctrine, it is written in black and white that Russia has the right to defend Belarus from attack even with the help of weapons of mass destruction. In addition, the Russian nuclear umbrella tactical Iskanders has already been deployed over the country. Who would dare to come in? So why would Russia take this step? After all, from the Kapustin Yar test site, the missile's range is the entire of Europe. Why more? Asked the official Russian media. It is known from Vladimir Putin's statements that the Oreshnik has 10 separable blocks that attack the target. Everything in the epicenter of the explosion turns to dust. This ballistic missile attacks a target at a speed of 12,380 kilometers per hour or 3.4 kilometers per second. The president noted that the missile strikes highly protected and deep-lying objects. The warhead of the missile is about 1.5 tons. In the nuclear version, the Oreshnik can deliver charges with a total capacity of 900 kilotons, equal to 45 Hiroshimas. It is possible to shoot down the Oreshnik only at the initial stage of the flight. Therefore, the missile is launched from the depth of the country, from the Kapustin Yar test site in the Astrakhan region. And you can see a number of my videos about Kapustin Yar. The combat units are already approaching the target at maximum speed and the interception is impossible at this stage. The time of approach to potential targets in Europe from the Kapustin Yar test site, the U.S. missile defense base in Polish Radzikowo, 11 minutes, Ramstein Air Base in Germany, 15 minutes, NATO headquarters in Brussels, 17 minutes. According to the president of the Russian Federation, there are no analogs of the Oreshnik in the world, and they will not appear anytime soon. At the same time, the production of Oreshnik has already been launched in Russia. On November 28, Putin said that at the moment there are several ready-made missiles for use. He clarified that with the continuation of strikes by the armed forces of Ukraine on the territory of Russia with long-range Western-made missiles, the Russian Federation will respond by continuing to test the Oreshnik in combat conditions. Commenting on the attack on Yuzhmash, the Russian leader noted that it is one of the largest and most famous industrial complexes since the time of the Soviet Union, which still produces missile technology and other weapons. He revealed that on November 19 and 21, the armed forces of Ukraine attacked the Bryansk and Kursk regions of Russia with the ATACMS, Storm Shadow, and the HIMARS systems manufactured in the United States and Great Britain. The air defense systems, the president continued, repelled the attacks. The goals set by the adversary were not achieved. In response to the use of American and British long-range weapons on November 21 of this year, the Russian armed forces launched a combined strike on one of the facilities of the military-industrial complex of Ukraine. In combat conditions, one of the newest Russian medium-range systems was tested. In this case, with a ballistic missile in a nuclear-free hypersonic equipment. Our rocket scientists called it Oreshnik, Putin said. According to him, the missile tests were successful. The launch goal was achieved. As for the news on December 6, 2024, about Belarus and the Oreshnik, here is what is stated on the Russian president's official site. I will just quote it. Secondly, I think this will become possible in the second half of next year as the production of such complexes increase, the serial production of these complexes in Russia, and as these missile systems enter service with the Russian strategic forces. And of course, there are a number of technical issues that must be resolved by specialists, namely determining the minimum range, taking into account the priorities of ensuring the security of the Republic of Belarus. Specialists should work here, but I think there are such opportunities, given that this will require minimal costs. I mean, there have been certain infrastructure opportunities in Belarus since the time of the Soviet Union, so the deployment of such complexes in Belarus will be associated with minimal infrastructure preparation costs. Of course, despite the fact that they will be part of the Russian strategic missile forces complex, nevertheless, the definition of targets of destruction on the territory of a likely enemy will certainly remain with the military and political leadership of the Republic of Belarus. This is an obvious thing. So Lukashenko will get to decide Western targets. That's what I wanted to let you know about the latest update about this ever-increasing, quite dangerous situation, in my opinion. And I'll bring you more news about the Oreshnik and other Russian missile systems and complexes. Thank you for your attention to my work. If you like my research, please kindly support me through the links you will find in the description to this video. Please like my videos and tell others.